Hi, I'm Yosin, and this is Whole-Soul Living. Today I'll be going over the yoga pose, wide leg fold forward, Prasarita Padottanasana. So the first thing that you're going to do with this is take a nice wide stance. So bring your arms out wide, and you'll bring your hands almost under bring your feet almost under your hands. From there, you want to make sure that your hips are balanced, so you're not tilting to one side or the other, and bringing your head right over your belly button. Gentle tuck under, so we're always lifting up with the lower abdominal and allowing that energy to come up through the sternum, through the crown of the head. Now take a look at your feet, okay? So I've talked about foot alignment a lot, especially with the standing poses. You want to be able to pull up on your arches. So if you're coming in like this with your feet, shift to the outside of your foot a little bit, press into the base of the big toe and pull up on those arches, and maybe even squeeze those legs in towards each other a little bit, not a ton. From there, we want to be able to bring the toes off of the floor. So if you're, again, putting all that weight forward into the toes, see if you can bring those toes off of the floor, at least while you're standing upright. When we go into this fold forward, you're going to put the weight in the ball of the feet, not necessarily the toes, okay? So keep that in mind as we go down. Then from there, as we fold forward, we're going to start with a flat back as we hinge from the hips, okay? So go ahead and stand up, find your foot distance, and then just start with playing with a hinge of the hips to start with. So keeping that lower back from rounding, right? So we don't want to do this. We want to make sure that we're really straight there in that lower back. Just go down maybe halfway and then back up. So you can practice that. Halfway down and back up. So then as we're halfway down, think about putting the weight in the ball of the feet so we're not shifting backwards, right? So it's almost like we've got a wall directly behind us. And from there, maybe a couple inches off of the wall with the legs. If we shift back, we're gonna hit that wall, right? So we don't wanna hit the wall. So we're lifting up and out with those two sits bones, and use a prop to start with so you can find that alignment there. So I wanna bring my feet wider here and just shifting forward, noticing that when I shift forward, my hips go back and up a little bit. The chest will reach down towards the floor, and the head will reach down towards the floor, okay? So from there, have a play with that. So as you're shifting forward, coming down, bringing the chest down towards the floor. If you don't have much flexibility in your hamstrings, in the glutes, and the lower back, use a prop. You can always use a prop. So from there, use the long side up here, and just play with shifting the weight forward there. And so we're on the balls of our feet. We can almost lift the heels up and the toes up as we reach the tailbone up towards the sky. And we're reaching the chest down towards the floor. If you need to bend the knees, that's okay. You can bend the knees a little bit if you're feeling a lot of pressure in the back of the knees. Okay, so that is about the fold forward. Let's have a little talk about the feet, the angle of the feet. Now, if you have a sciatic flare-up and you're feeling maybe some pain down the leg, first of all, this might not be the pose for you today. If it's just a tiny little bit of a sciatic uncomfortability and you feel like if you point your toes out and it doesn't bother it, you can do that. But typically, if you've got a chronic sciatic issue, don't turn your toes in. Maybe not even have them straight. Turn them out because that'll put less pressure on that nerve. And again, if you're having a flare-up, just avoid fold forwards until that flare-up has died down, okay? So with that being said, the fold forward would then look like this if it just turned out. And so turn out to the degree that is comfortable for you, okay? So if you're feeling it You know, when you're slightly turned out, turn out a little more. Use your signals of your body to know what's going on with your body and to adjust accordingly, okay? So with that, we're gonna take a nice big inhale, finding our position here, lifting up, and then exhale, draw the navel in. You can either bring the hands over heart or out wide. We're hinging from the hips. We have this flat back. I'm reaching my chest forward, my belly towards my legs, reaching up and out with those two sits bones, and reaching the head down towards the floor. Now, ideally, I want to be able to bring my fingertips in line with my toe tips from there, and maybe even further, okay? So there's a few variations of the arms. You can either use a block here if you don't have that flexibility. Maybe you bring your head to a block, that might help. Or we can reach those hands through, or even bring the hands to the elbows. So whatever feels good for you and your body, and every day it might be a little bit different, okay? So we're gonna take a few breaths here. As we're breathing in, think about that thoracic ujjayi breath. So breathe in from the top of the lungs, the middle, then the bottom of the lungs. We're still engaging that lower abdomen and the pelvic floor muscles. As we push the air out from below, breathing in from above and out from below. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to talk about the variation of twisting. Now, with the twist, you want to keep your hips stable. So the challenge with the twist is that the hips tend to shift from side to side. Now, as best you can, keep your hips right where they are, right in the center. Let's bring the right hand to the floor or to a block. And then from there, we're going to twist from the bottom of the spine, just like we would do in a seated twist. And then we can reach this left hand up. Now notice how my hips want to shift to the right. Don't let it do that. Keep it right in the middle. And then we're gonna press into the floor or the block as we're looking up. If it doesn't hurt your neck, look up. One more inhale here. And then exhale back to center. And you can either go a little deeper with the hands so they're in line with the toes, or a little far forward, whatever your body wants. And notice how when I go to the twist, my hips want to move, right? They want to move over towards the right. So let's bring the left hand down, stabilize the hips, twist from the bottom of the spine, so we're squeezing those legs in towards each other. And then from the bottom of the spine, we can slowly reach that right hand towards the ceiling. If you don't get very far, that's okay. And then again, if it doesn't hurt your neck, look up. And then we bring both hands back to center. Again, we're hinging from the hips. Take a nice big inhale, reach the chest up towards the ceiling. And then exhale. Hands come to the side. So that is the wide leg fold forward. Have a play with it. Use some blocks if you need to. If you don't have blocks, use a pillow or anything that might give you a little bit of a boost there. And really ground your feet through the base of the big toe as you're going through this. So with that, let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. If you have any additions or some tips or tricks that may help you with your poses, share those so that other people can read those as well. And of course, have a wonderful, beautiful day. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for joining me. And namaste.